Hi students, welcome to Year 9 Science and Unit 2, Our Amazing Earth. In this particular video, we're going to focus on an Asia-Pacific case study. So we're going to take that little general video that we looked at around the geography of the Asia-Pacific region and try and put it into a more specific context. So one of the things that we're asking you to do is to prepare a case study of an important geological event that's happened in recent times in the Asia-Pacific region. Now, recent times, we're looking at the last 15, 20 years, just so that gives you a little bit of a broad range of events that you can look at. This might include the Sumatran earthquake, the Sichuan province earthquake in 2008, the Haiti earthquake, Christchurch, or the Fukushima tsunami. Obviously, there's plenty of other things that you can look at here. We've just given you a small list of things that you can select from, maybe an area that you visited or that you know, that you can look at in a little bit of detail because it has more of a personal link to you. When you prepare a case study, it's possibly useful to have some sort of an acronym, some sort of a organized system of how you're going to go about that. And I think if you use the case system for a case study, then you might find that that helps you to remember some of these really important steps. So the first thing, of course, that you must do is you must choose your area of interest. So if, for example, we're going to choose the Christchurch earthquake in New Zealand in 2011, we've got to choose that first. So we've got to set that as our area of interest. Now, it may well be that you do a little bit of research beforehand because you might find that the thing that you pick, there isn't a lot of information about. And so sometimes we do have to change midstream when we're looking at our research topics if we just don't have enough. But we've given you enough choices that hopefully you'll find something where there's sufficient research for you to be able to focus your attention. So what do you need to do next? Well, the next thing you need to do is to conduct your research. So you actually need to read material, you need to watch videos. It may even be that you know people who were around or in the area at the time that these things happened. So you may be even have lucky enough to be able to talk to witnesses, people who actually have a particular link with what happened at those particular sites. So if you know someone, for example, who was in Christchurch or even who was living in the South Island of New Zealand around that time, you may be able to talk to them about their experiences, what they felt, what happened at the time and then straight after. What you need to do once you've got a reasonable amount of research is you have to analyze that data for relevance and validity. And we look at it, we've got a couple of tests that we use in our experiments around reliability, around accuracy and validity. And when we're doing research, it's no different. We need to think about relevance. Does it link back to our area of interest? The authors of the papers that you're reading or of the material that you're watching, what are their qualifications? How recent is the material that you're reading? And does it address the issue? Okay, you might find someone who's giving a lot of information about their experience at the Christchurch earthquake, but we do want to link that back into our understanding of plate tectonics. So we need to make sure that we don't just look at, for example, witness accounts, but we also set those accounts in the context of what we think might have happened from a tectonic point of view. Now, hopefully by this time you'll have a lot of information and you'll want to try and sift that down a little bit. So you've identified which are your best sources of information, and now you've got to a point where you're able to summarize. So the S is summarize. Summarize the key points. You haven't written anything yet. At this point in time, hopefully you're just collecting things. Maybe you've printed some stuff out, you've done some highlighting. You want to bring those key points together so that you're looking at what is the purpose of your case study? What are you specifically trying to solve? What are you focusing on? And so what are the key points out of these different areas of research that you've pulled together in order to use them in your writing to present them. So we want to summarize those key points. And in this case, maybe you'll have some highlights. Okay, maybe you want to condense your notes. So there may be a number of different things that you might be doing in order to try and bring all of these things together. The E, a little bit tricky to find an E for this one because really it's more of an assimilation kind of an activity. But what you're trying to do is embody your findings into the overarching concept or big idea. So what we want to do is, as I said, when we're going through our analysis of data for relevance, we want to make sure that we keep the big idea in mind, the big picture in mind. It's like when you write essays, you want to keep referring back to the essay question and make sure that what you're writing is still relevant, it's still on the point, so that you don't waver or wander off the point. So we want to make sure that our big idea in this case is the overarching theory of plate tectonics, that explanation for why we have volcanic activity, why we have earthquake activity, why we think continents may have moved from where they were in the past to where they are in the present, why the sea floor was spreading. So there's a lot of things that we can talk about in plate tectonics, and we just want to see if you can link this one specific event to your general understanding of plate tectonics. So that gives you a little bit of an overview of how to prepare a case study, and obviously we're going to give you a little bit of time in class to do that. Thanks for watching.